Hello and welcome to the MotionSet Diagnostics Introduction for the XD Indexer drive from Ormex Systems. In the MotionSet programming video, I introduced you to the simple step-by-step process of setting up a drive and motor, assigning I/O, and programming motions. This video will not cover these topics again, but instead focus on the advanced diagnostic tools of MotionSet and how they will help you commission every new system quickly. If you're looking for training on how to program the XD Indexer, please view our training videos at ormec.com. Let's start by looking at the digital scope built into MotionSet. There are 4 trace channels and 27 different traceable parameters. You can even trace digital I/O to better understand how your application is working, or understand why it is not working. You can also view a frequency plot to identify resonance frequencies on the machine, and then you can apply a notch filter for better system performance. The overlay option is a great little feature that will aid you in tuning any system by retaining plots over time to see if the changes you have made increase or decrease stability. MotionSet also has an I/O exerciser that allows you to flex inputs and outputs via software before the drive has been wired into the machine. It also gives you a visual cue to the status of the I/O at a glance. Together, the scope and I/O exerciser make tuning the system and testing an application simple while still providing important information. After setting up the scope and taking control of the hardware I/O in the exerciser, I can shrink them both into mini mode. Now I can make changes to tuning parameters or motion profiles, trigger them, and plot the results. Notice I can trace the status of I/O. Here I can see when PLS1 turns on and when it turns off. I can see that following error has decreased since I adjusted the basic tuning sliders. MotionSet makes the most complicated applications easy to break down in the scope and test with the I/O exerciser. Returning to the project tree, the monitor branch will give you system information in real time. Many of the same parameters that can be traced in the scope are on display here, plus many more. I/O assignments and status are clearly visible along with information about the axis, which motions are being executed, and where we are in repeated motion or chain. If you have an auxiliary encoder on the system, information about its current status is visible here. When you are logged into the drive, the counters branch gives you information about the Ethernet connection and internal flash memory. The event log branch details the last 32 events such as power cycles, ignored motion execution commands, and faults that have occurred. Finally, the versions branch will give you static information about the drive hardware and firmware level, model number, software version, and more. As you can see, the XD Indexer and MotionSet have been designed for flexibility and ease of use. This concludes the MotionSet Diagnostics Introduction. For more information about MotionSet and the XD Indexer or training on how to use the XD Indexer, visit ormec.com.